So today I'm going to be presenting on hypnosis, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the history of hypnosis and how we ended up, you know, getting into it today. And I'm also going to be discussing how it can be beneficial in terms of therapy and other health benefits. So first, I'm going to start off with defining consciousness. So what makes us conscious? And it's the ability to understand ourselves as a being with a brain. Our ability to understand everything that comes from ourselves, such as our thoughts and actions, when we are conscious, when we are awake, and when we are sleeping through our dreams, our awareness of ourselves and our environment. And it can also be interpreted as like, for example, when we tell our bodies to, like, for example, grabbing a cup or something. So it's like you are conscious that there's things in your mind that help you complete certain functions, and also that includes our thoughts and our ability to understand what goes on inside our heads. So I in the article Understanding Consciousness by Michael S. A. Graziano, he defines consciousness as the content of our consciousness constantly changing, constantly flowing, including thoughts, sensory impressions, emotions, decisions, and memories. The knowledge that you are a person distinct from the rest of the world and everything else swirling through your moment by moment experience. So we're also going to be discussing altered states of consciousness, because hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness. So those can include meditation, drugs, hypnosis, enlightenment, hallucinations, dreaming, and daydreaming. So in the article titled "What is an Altered State of Consciousness" by Antti Revonsuo, Sakari Kallio, and Pilarine Sika, an altered state of consciousness has been defined as a changed overall pattern of conscious experience, or as the subjective feeling of explicit recognition that one's own subjective experience has changed. So the way that hypnosis is a altered state of mind is because you go into a trance-like state and you are being guided by somebody else. And this can also tie into, you can meditate and get yourself like kind of self-soothe. So you can meditate and try to get your body to relax, take deep breaths, and that all can be like considered like an altered state of mind. So Franz Mesmer is an Austrian physician who worked on what is called mesmerism to treat his patients for various conditions. His methods are thought to be the foundation of modern day hypnosis. So he believes in something called animal magnetism, which is the healing power of suggestion. So hypnosis is basically a they try to get you very calm and relaxed, and then they make suggestions on how you can better your life. Or for example, if you're trying to quit a habit, if you're trying to tap into some memories that you may have forgotten. um so basically you can't act against your own will, because it's just a suggestion. So ultimately, whether or not you end up doing what is suggested is all up to you and the way that you want to participate in the hypnosis. So due to this, only 20% of people are able to be hypnotized, because many can't find themselves vulnerable enough to tap into that part of their consciousness and mind. So in the article, The Tribute of the Pioneer of Hypnotherapy, Franz Mesmer, in the History of Psychotherapy and Medicine by Radovanchevich Luborum, he describes Mesmer as the Fons et Origo of modern psychotherapy, and from the early techniques of mesmerism, it is said to have evolved to the more elaborate, sophisticated therapeutic measures of the analyst and his colleagues. Although Mesmer was certainly dealing with individuals suffering from a variety of neurotic disorders, and the clinical successes he achieved were the result of psychological processes that his procedures induced in his patients. Mesmer's theoretical formulations, his understanding of the nature of the treatment he developed, and his specific procedures were all totally different from those of the 20th century analyst. He was one of the cornerstones in development of psychoanalysis through hypnosis, mainly of hysterical patients. So he was basically trying to treat his patients, for things like psychosis, depression, etc. And he was basically using his techniques to calm his patients and basically get them to a suggestive state. So just some pictures. Obviously this dates back to many years ago, and this image can explain that. So this is another quote of animal magnetism practiced by Franz Anton Mesmer in the 18th century. But the modern era of hypnosis research effectively began with the extensive program pursued by Pohl of 1933, leading to a golden age of hypnosis research facilitated by the development of behavioral scales for the measurement of hypnotizability. So like I mentioned, not everybody's susceptible to hypnosis. It's not going to work on everyone. It is a calm-like state, a trance-like state during which you tend to have a heightened concentration and focus, in which you're typically more open to suggestion. Only about 20% of people are susceptible to hypnosis, and disassociation is a special dual processing state of split consciousness, and this can help make people more susceptible to hypnosis. So disassociation is basically your ability to like zone in and out of situations and kind of disconnect. And if you are able to disassociate, hypnosis is more likely to work on you because you are able to get yourself to a disassociative state where you can relax and you can let your mind kind of be susceptible and wander a little bit. And this can be used in a number of ways to help people quit habits, remember things, train your brain to do what you want. In the article titled Neurohypnotism Prospects for Hypnosis in Neuroscience by John F. Kihlstrom, he defines hypnosis as a social interaction in which one person designated the subject responds to suggestions offered by another person, designated by the hypnotist for imaginative experiences involving alterations in conscious perception and memory, and the voluntary control of action. In the classic instance, these experiments are accompanied by subjective conviction bordering on delusion and feelings of involuntariness bordering on compulsion. So there's 4 steps to hypnosis. I'm sure there's other methods that other people use. I think it's very unique to like every hypnotist on what they choose to do. But when I was doing my research, these are the common 4 steps that came up. And step 1 is that the hypnotherapist explains their behavior to them. And then the hypnotherapist then creates or describes a strategy for change. The 3rd step involves the hypnotherapist helping the client become more suggestible or more receptive to the new strategy. And step 4 is evaluation. So essentially, you sit down, you discuss what the behavior is that you want to change, what the behavior is that you want to better or stop doing. And the hypnotherapist basically comes up with something that you can implant like in kind of replacement of that. So every time, for example, if you want to smoke, if you're addicted to cigarettes and every time that you crave a cigarette, you're gonna drink a glass of water instead. That's an example of something that a hypnotist could use on somebody who is trying to quit that habit. And then the 3rd step involves them sitting down and actually, getting them calm and getting them into a state where they can actually be hypnotized. And The fourth is evaluation for afterwards to see if the hypnosis is working and if it's becoming effective. It can also be used to retrace memories that you have forgotten or don't allow yourself to remember when you are conscious. So it can help you retrace your memories, and that can help you in a therapeutic way to begin a healing journey and move forward with whatever it is you want to do. So here's just another explanation. This is self-hypnosis for anxiety. And I wanted to include this because I myself struggle with anxiety. And I think it's important to also remember that you can calm yourself down and get yourself to like kind of a hypnotic state where you can relax. So obviously the 4 steps again, find a comfortable, quiet place to practice, enter a deep state of relaxed and focused attention, relax and begin hypnotic suggestions, return to your waking state of awareness. So it's kind of like it reminds me a little bit also of like affirmations, telling yourself stuff. It's kind of like suggesting that you should do certain things to help better your life. So then I have this video which I'm going to share, and it's just discussing the benefits of hypnotherapy from a news clip. Okay. So I like that they mentioned that it's a good alternative for Western medicine. And I think it is like a positive, thing to try if you're not comfortable with taking medication or you want to just try an alternative. It's more dealing with your mind and not so much ingesting something that you're not sure about, or you know, it's something you can also do yourself. And I love that she mentioned too that for veterans, it can be beneficial too, for PTSD and stuff like that. I think that's very important, like to raise awareness, because I think, people don't really think about hypnosis in terms of, treatment for things like that, but it can be very beneficial. And then this is my bibliography. And that wraps up my presentation. Thanks for watching.